The reason why SpecialEffect came about was because I was working at a centre which is helping children with severe physical disabilities to access their education. And time again, the parents and the children with increasing frequency were saying, well, that's great, absolutely fantastic, thank you very much. But it'd be great if they could play video games like their friends do. These young people were very severely disabled, and they couldn't play independently. So what I did was I got together a multi-professional team: therapists, designers, technical skills, people with backgrounds in education, to build up our skills together. My aim behind starting the charity wasn't just my own, it was also shared by the United Nations. Their Article 31 of the Rights of the Child said that every child has a right to play, and children with a very severe physical disability cannot play independently. They can't ride a bike, can't play football, etc. And the idea was to try to enable those children to find a way, to find the tools to be able for them to play alongside anyone that they wanted to within the world of a video game. It was a very special moment when Xbox invited SpecialEffect to be one of the organizations, one of the team who were invited to develop a special interface that would enable people with disabilities, physical disabilities from around the world, to be able to find it easier to access games. What the Xbox Adaptive Controller meant to gamers was that you could now use a much wider range of input devices, such as buttons, such as special joysticks, to be able to access video games in a way that was very, very difficult before. I remember how delighted we were when we saw the impact of that with a little boy. He'd only ever watched his dad play Forza and just loved watching him. But we saw a video that went up on Twitter which showed his lad, despite a very, very severe physical challenge, he was able to press one switch to be able to accelerate. I think it was now that around the Nuremberg ring or something like that, but to be able to accelerate and play and drive and engage in a way that he'd never been able to before. His dad said that at long last they could actually play together. As well as being invited to help develop hardware, accessible hardware such as the adaptive controller, it was a very memorable moment when we were invited to go to Playground Games, which isn't too far away from where SpecialEffect is based, to be able to collaborate with them to make their accessibility features expand sufficiently to allow a wider range of input devices used in a wider range of ways. It's really important to the charity that we not only help children in the UK, but as I say, I want to help people all over the world. For example, we've got a searchable game access site where people can find out about how to get into accessibility in the first place. If they're a professional, if they're a parent, if they're someone with a disability themselves, then they can find the console that they've got, find the game that they want to play, and find out about the way in which their device or their devices can be used to access those games as effectively as they can. So that's available to people all around the world, but at the very widest level, we want to make more games more accessible at source by collaborating with developers. I think one of the great things that's happened over recent years is that the games industry have shown what can be done in terms of accessibility for people with disabilities around the world. And I feel that a movement has started, and I feel that in the future, the next chapter will be to move on to make every game in the world as accessible as possible to as many people as possible. And the result of all that would be that everyone, not just children, would achieve that United Nations resolution to make play available to everyone.